Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Today, the U.S. Open's been on for a few days, gone down, looking at that. Surfed a little bit at Newport, pretty small, but we had a lot of fun. But the big news, of course, is the U.S. Open of Surfing. It's just a huge event here. They build an entire city. They have skate ramps that they build out of cement from scratch. They have bleachers and booths and all kinds of stuff. And it's the world tour for the women. It's the qualifying series for the men. But there's been some amazing surfing and some very big waves. So it's been really good and fun to watch. It's been really warm too. And it's been also, which is weird, it's been really glassy almost the entire day. Towards the very end, about 2 or 3 o'clock, the wind came up on most days. But I would say that usually on a summer, the wind comes up at about 9 o'clock. But it's been sticking pretty close to later in the afternoon all week here. So it's been a lot of fun to watch. There's some amazing and some pretty scary. There was a guy, I can't remember his name now, he went right into the pier and slammed against it and disappeared for a second, and they were all concerned. He finally came up, but he was bleeding out of his head and out of his arm, so he got slammed around. He did a bottom turn. Well, he did one complete turn, then he went for another bottom turn, went to the top, and as he came off the top, he fell or jumped off because he was coming into the pier. And then you didn't see him again until the wave had passed through the pylons, and he was basically on the other side where he must have hit at least a couple of times because, like I say, he was bleeding in more than one spot. But he was able to get back in and walk back to the medical staff and get looked at. And also, Lakey Peterson had fallen by the pier, and she got hit by the pillars, and she got hit in her back, so she was kind of stuck there for a while. The camera was on her, and you can see her board was wrapped around the pillar, but she was not attached to it. Apparently she had gotten caught up on that pier and had to take her leash off because the current was going real strong to the north, so it was like trying to hold on in a river, and she couldn't get her board on hook, so she couldn't breathe. She said she was caught underneath the water just being pulled, and so she took off her leash, got her composure back, and then swam back to the board and unwrapped it from the pier, and then she paddled back out and finished the heat, and actually won the heat. So it was pretty impressive for her to tough it out and get out there. And that was, the pier has been pretty interesting, but two of the most, I guess there was two really incredible rides where I can't remember who it was this time either, but he had taken off on a well overhead wave, very big, and he got first guy and the only one so far to get caught in the barrel, and he reached himself up into that barrel and he disappeared, and he just didn't know what happened to him until he finally got really close to the pier, and he comes shooting out of the tube right through the pier at about 30 miles an hour, and it was incredible to watch that because you didn't see him until he comes shooting out, and he was going fast. I mean, that must have been pretty scary from his point of view, looking at those pillars come at you and being stuck inside the tube. So that was an incredible ride. And then yesterday on Thursday, Carlos Munoz, I think it was, he took off on a left, did a nice little bottom turn, came up into the lip. As the wave was breaking, he actually rode the inside part of the wave as it broke over him. And he was completely upside down with his board on the top of the inside of the wave. And then he went straight down from there, and we all thought that was it, that he was just got wiped out from that move because there was no way he could pull out of that. And sure enough, he comes shooting out of there in a crouched position and made that wave. It was unbelievable. You can go on WSLWorldSurfLeague.com and you can go to his heat, which I believe it was the third round, I think it was, Carlos Munoz. He won that particular heat, so you should be able to find it. And I think it was his first wave. You can pull it up. Just go to the heat analyzer on the top of the. Once you get into the event, there'll be a what you call it. Let's check it out. I'll do it right now. It says Men's U.S. Open of Surfing. It's on, so you go into that section, and it says Heat Analyzer at the top. You go to the Heat Analyzer. It's on top of where you would see the live feed. You go to round 3 and then go to heats and find, okay, maybe it was round 2. I don't see it. Round 2. No, it was definitely round 3. And go in there and see it, and just watch him come out of that wave. It's incredible. Well, but other than that, we haven't surfed much on our own. We've been watching the U.S. Open, and it's been so big and gnarly. It's been so crowded on the north side because everybody's being pushed to the north side. Super crowded, and not only is it super crowded, there's a lot of really good surfers, and so you can't get a wave because they're all out paddling you, out positioning you, and out surfing you. So it's been really difficult to get your own wave going. But so I didn't even go out for most of the week. I did go out today, but I went to Newport, which is really, really small. But we managed to catch a few waves, not anything spectacular, but we're with some rookies, so worked out well. So that is all for today. We will see getting into the finals, semifinals, and finals next couple of days. So I'll let you know how that turns out. Till then, surf if you do. If you don't surf, don't start. Just go watch the U.S. Open of surfing. It's awesome. Thanks for listening. Bye.